Welcome to Truck Jump 5.0 tutorial. I am very tired and I want to finish this before I forget everything. Starting out with an example of the whole thing, then we get down to the nitty-gritty after. Oh, right, gonna make a save state here before I forget yet again. Yes, I am buffering these. It's about 5:50 in the morning for me. Damn it. Again. Please. I think they would have worked. Second frame, but whatever. Great, second frame. Okay. What did I have to do for the higher one? Okay, so I'm also gonna make another save state, but I'm pretty sure this is what I did. Okay, the numbers are not right. So it's no, that's not right either. That's right. Okay, so it's mid and then pull back. I did not take very good notes before recording. Clearly. Take. Have it. Okay. So help me. Thank you. There we go. Good. Alright, so I was scuffed. I blame for staying up all night. But also stuff happening in NMG questions, but whatever. It's not their fault. So, first off, setup for getting ISG off the owl. Very easy. Should turn up left. 2 slashes. Don't take too long, otherwise you can do that. 2 turn around, you gotta turn around. In fact, just hold down during this, and then mash the text layer to get rid of it. Then of course you can get whatever you need. Voila, special. Go down here, you have ISG, so you need a side hop or something. You can avoid damage if you're on the little slope there, if necessary. I imagine damage might be important. I don't know if this is a good way to put it. Probably. So this is pretty line up here. I don't have any way to point on this, but I don't think I do anyways. So I look at the links right here for this part, and I look at, there's this very distinct mark on the right side that goes up and down, and you can just brush it with links here if you hover like that, with levitate. But anyways, this puts that here. Turn down, 1 ESS to the right, target, 1 full roll forward, do not shield stop it or else you'll lose ISG, like I did in testing. Truck sucks productions. Alright, so here, very fun, get to -18 on the input display. It's the one right above the red dot being visible on the hook tower. Now, this is dependent on breathing, Link's breathing. It's very simple though. So you see how his body is swaying left, then right, then left, then right. His head is going more up when it's right. Okay, so basically what we're dealing with is 2 extremes. So one extreme is this one to the far left, and then the other extreme is the far right, or when he's going, his head is going right here. Now, what we want is something specifically between these two. It's like midway. Just aim for closer to the one he's to the right, and you'll be fine. It's not that precise, I think. It's just precise enough that it matters to hit the hook tower, basically. If you go 1 each square more to the left, the hook will miss the hook tower. It goes just above it. Alright, so go over here. Now, assuming you don't kill the keys, the fire keys, it could get annoying if you're not fast enough or if you decide to go pretty quickly. But generally, okay, like so. Anyways, generally just try to line up with the middle of the hookshot tower, maybe a little to the right. You can adjust after, it's fine. So just do 5 ESS turns to the right. And now what I look for is Link's shield, specifically the right part of it. You see that corner? Right there. Okay, so there's a corner midway between top and bottom of the shield. Hello, fire keys. Are you happy now? Go away. Alright, so assuming you see the corner, it's to the right of the blue dot that's right above the 2 and 12. Okay, that one. Link. Okay. So what I look for is that corner being on Link's arm. So you can actually see the indent of the shield on the arm. And that just cancels stuff. Great, not to review stuff. If you're one too far, then Link's shield is going to be more in line with the border of Link's arm. That won't work. Of course, it has to be 5 ESS turns, 1 less. And it's mostly covering Link's arm, and there's just a sliver of Link's arm left. So that won't work. You want one more to the right. Second piece, where's that? Alright. Whatever. Remind me to kill the keys this time. Bad, whatever. Don't do that. Get ISG. I don't imagine that is very precise. I don't know, a lot of tries. Okay, so again, to the left, make sure Link's ear is like just barely touching that upper white line mark, whatever. Turn around, make sure you're against the wall, turn around. 1 ESS right, 1 full roll. Don't shield stop, just stop it based off of whoops. And that's been consistent for me. I haven't had any issues with that. 1 ESS right, back continue towards the hookshot, -18 on the control stick. Wait until Link is a little over halfway through his breathing from going left to right, or, you know, 1/4 going right to left. Get up to the hook tower. If you're to the left enough, you can just backwalk, and then you can just brush along the side of it, which is always nice. 5 ESS turns to the right. If you're looking at the angle watch, it's 1 CD8. And when you get this angle, you're allowed to target, and you won't target the hook tower. If you're 1 to the left, you will target the hook tower. So if you're having difficulty looking at it, based off of that, I guess. Alright, so now similar to before, what we're going to do is pull hook out for a frame. You could pause buffer that hook pull if you really wanted to. You could also just hit hook first and then pause. But you have to do the pause, I think. It's very, very tedious and difficult to get it without the pause. I don't think it's very consistent at all. I've tried to do it without the pause for inputting down without a pause. Didn't work out well. So anyways, after your pause, I'm using KZ pause buffer. So ignore that. You want to buffer. Oh, I missed something. Dang it. Anyways, if you're on the right side and you're lined up right, then it's going to be the first frame that the red hook actually appears, you know, in an initial spot on the bottom line of the tower. Then that'll give you about this. Starting Y velocity 64.5264. Fantastic. I need to explain something else next. No damage. so I've explained the first path, and so I'm just gonna make a save state here. Alright, so when you do your target, just make sure that Link's hat is like centered up with the right side of the hookshot tower, and then that I think should work. I usually do a little to the left just to make sure it actually hits. Very good. But the problem is if you're too far to the left, positionally, then you don't get what you want. What you get is a wiggle jump or a wiggle, and you don't want to wiggle. You want to make sure you actually get a hook jump, so you want to be like right on the right side. And that's how you get that to consistently work. That's also why you want to be in that spot earlier. You want to make sure that after you do the roll setup, you want to be on the left side of the hook tower. Alright, so anyways, input hook shot for a frame, then put down, keep holding down the target, and then release on this frame, release hook on this frame. Alright, now this is where things get interesting. I'm introducing a step. So what I'm doing is I'm holding down, well actually I'm doing my equips here. Alright, so bomb chew, bombs, water, whatever, doesn't matter, whatever really. I'm holding down for now. The camera is going to jut down, then it's going to start going back up. As it starts to go back up, I'm going to switch to down left. And then I can also just pull chew on this frame. And then, like before, I'm going to look for that visual frame that works for my TV, because I have a cutoff. And I'm just looking for a little bit of skin from Link's leg. And I'm still holding down left. And once I see that little bit of skin, and it so happens to be Y velocity of 3, I can just barely see the skin. I'm going to hold the target in R. And then that's going to, of course, shield the chew. Now, this lines you up such that you don't have to... curve your megas in any way, shape, or form. So that's why this is nice in my opinion. And you're probably going to be pausing the release anyways, the chew shield drop I mean, just because you want to make sure you get that max height. You don't want to get really much lower than that, because otherwise you really risk not being able to get onto the switch on time. Okay, that aside, next up is the fun part of the megas. So for these 2 megas, you get 2 frames, and then you have 2 hovers after. You're going to do intentional hovers based off of a visual cue, and then that visual cue is based off of what exact megas you get, what frames you get. So I'll show you the frames. Fantastic. If I can get a good mega, please. Okay, I am incapable of getting a good mega. Thank you. Alright, so holding neutral, of course, in this frame. So I should have gotten the shoot up. Alright, so frame 1 to shield is this frame. You can see Link split on the bottom right still. The second frame that you can shield on is this one. And so you can get 2 of the first frame megas, you can get 2 of the second frame megas, or you can get 1 of each. It really works with anyway. It's with those 3, the only thing is that it's going to change what hovers you do. And you can actually see there's a good visual cue based off of Link's ear. I was a little concerned it didn't work, but I only did 1 mega, so no wonder it didn't work. Dummy. And I went too far. Lovely. I kept trying to make save states for this, but I kept crashing. I got impatient, and here I am trying to do the rest of the trick. There we go. Alright, so I'm just going to assume 2 frame 1s. If I didn't mention, it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. So, there it is. Okay, save state is made. And so the video cue I look for again is Link's right ear. and specifically where it lines up with that weird. Right. Anyways, but those weird like windows, I guess you could call them, in the background. They're actually the things that the rocks, the boulders come out of, I'm pretty sure. But anyways, just those things, I don't know what you want to make of them. Maybe catacombs. Giant catacombs? That'd be weird. But anyways, you want to make sure you want to see if Link's right ear is above it, in line with the top of it, or like underneath the top of it. So it's actually in the shadowy area. So if you get 2 first frame megas, then you're going to be right above it. That makes sense. You're going to be a little higher. And because of that, you want to do, if I recall, it's 2. No, earlier it was 1 mega and 1 mid-height, mid-distance mega. Up the water, and you just want to hold up and roll into the switch. So, as long as you do the right hover combination or your mega combination that you get, you should be able to just hold up. You don't have to worry about holding down. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Alright, so next up, what do we have? Is that the same? No, I got slightly lower in my. Whatever, good enough. Okay, so frame 1, then I'm gonna do frame 2. If I'm allowed to. Thank you. Frame 1, and followed by frame 2. Okay, so Link's put it on screen. Actually, I keep forgetting. If you were to pause this, okay, cool. Link's footer's still off screen. Awesome. It's not just behind black bars. Okay, and then we get 2138 in this case because I'm a little lower. If you're a little higher, you'll get 2140. Typically, it's a difference of 2. Alright, now with this one, it's, I think, the same as before. No, it's going to be 2 mid-height, mid-distance hovers. Yeah, it looks right on the values. Very good. And then with this new save state, you can see that Link's right ear is just right along that curvature of the top of the window, or whatever you want to call that thing. Catacomb, I don't know. Alright, then that leaves the final case. And then I'll go over those visual cues one by one, as long as the game doesn't crash me. Okay, second frame, and another second frame. Okay, better. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting I'm playing with delayed audio now. Okay, 2128. That's correct, right? That's 9 less. 10 less. Okay, close enough. Alright, now 2128, we're really low. If you want to think about it this way, you can say Link's ear is way into that window, whatever you want to call it. Right ear specifically. I'm going to do 2 height hovers. That wasn't exactly a perfect height hover for the second one, but it looks like, I think that'll work for it. You're not too far back that the water will drop onto the back, I think. Yeah, case in point. And just to show, it'll work with 2 perfect height hovers. Voila. I didn't get the cutscene skip there, but whatever. So yeah, in some cases, if it works out just right for your spacing with when you hit the switch, then you actually skip the little cutscene where the camera zooms in on Link. But oh well. It's a small cutscene. Okay, so go over these frames again. Not these frames, these positions. So this is if you get 2 first frames, 2 second frames, or no, 1 of each, I'm sorry, 2 second frames. Alright, so you can see links right here when you do 2 first frames. This is safe state 2, this is the 2 first frames. Links here is just above the dough thing. Safe state 3 is in the middle, 1 of each, first frame and a second frame. Links here is in line with the top of the window. And then 2 late frames, 2 second frames. Link here is within the window. Alright. So again, just for the last part, all you gotta do is hold up leftish, really, and roll into the switch. And usually, the tongue, you know how it goes up? It's usually pretty lenient about letting you pass back down rolling to the switch. You have to go pretty high up for it to actually stop you, just because of how ISG doesn't let you fall. But you're within the bounds of the gravity pulling you to -4, I think, which is the standard for being on the ground, not 0 for whatever reason. That's usually enough to let you pass from the tongue to the ground. So you don't have to worry about that too much. Just worry about getting onto the switch, being optimal with your rolls, to get onto the switch as quickly as possible. Okay, let's just do a quick refresher of these. So for 2 first frames, you got the ear above the right, 2 mid-height hovers, mid-distance mid-height hovers, if I recall. No, it was a distance. It was a distance height hover, or mid-height hover. I'm sorry. Sloppy tutorial. That's much better. There you go. Okay, for in the middle, 1 of each. It's I mean, that should work. This one's gonna be the most lenient one. That was a height hover and a medium, a mid hover. I'll just call them mid hovers from now. Between, didn't work. Between a height and a distance hover. Oh, what was it? Was it a distance? No, it was 2 in the middle. 2 mid hovers. Yes, that's much better data. Okay. In between is 2 mid hovers. There we go. And then lastly, 2 second framers. Maybe 2 height hovers again. You need to recover that lost height you got from dropping so low. Easy way to remember that one. Okay, and again, links ear, right ear is within the window. Alright, I have stressed a lot of this stuff enough. I think it's about time. Can I crash? Not like that. Whatever. So, I imagine you can do this unbuffered with practice easily. What I looked for when I did it unbuffered was simply for Link's foot to be close to off-screen, if not already off-screen. And that generally got me within it. But, again, I'm tired right now, so it's hard for me to actually judge that. This is final version, I think, so if anybody else in the community would like to actually test this, or this, whatever you want to call it, see if it's actually viable to do in runs, quick, please be my guest, and good luck, have fun.